guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 169. 69. I hate when people do that. It's like, are we 12?
Well, you know what the original is, right?
No.
It's Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
He said vagina.
Yeah, no. You're going to get us banned. The 69 thing isn't originally from them.
Well,
is
no,
it?
of course not. But the whole.
Yeah, butthead. Anyways, guys.
You did that better than me.
Yeah, I did. I do everything better. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Jesper, if anyone wants to know anything about us, where do they go?
They go to gigeconomyshow.com.
And what can they find there?
Absolutely nothing. No, they can find the news episode posted on the homepage. They can sign up for the newsletter so they can get notified when something new happens, a new episode lands, or about 3 to 4 times a year get like an episode about what we actually, what are we up to.
Yep.
Just a little bit of talk about, who we are as hosts. I think there's a bio on us, on whatever. There used to be a merch page, but that's temporarily down.
We're in the process of making our own merch. It's a slow process because I get excited and I look for heat presses on Facebook Marketplace, and then I don't pull the trigger on it.
Then he decides he doesn't want to do it anyways because he's only going to make a couple bucks.
Well, no, it's not. It's not just about our fans because no one buys shit from us, but It's just doing other.
It's doing
T-shirts for other
stuff,
gig work.
So
Can you fix your mic?
Well, what's wrong with my mic?
Well, you're talking. Do it. You're doing this. You're talking to it like this.
Oh. Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I fixed it. I thought I fixed it, but apparently not.
Well, you're talking across the top.
Because I'm a dumbass.
No, you're not.
Anyways, and then there used to be a section about. I think there might still be a section about the stuff you can buy, some cool things that you should have as a Lyft or Uber driver, or a gig worker in general. I think that's it.
Our Patreon members: Larry from Bowling Green, Samson from Grand Rapids, Steve from Colorado, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cast from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Frank from Philly, Joe from Grand Rapids, Nate from Florida, the Seaman, and John McCallion, the California bitch.
Which you still didn't add to the list.
I know. I added to the last show.
But I also want to say thank you to all you guys.
Yeah.
It means a lot. You guys support us, and we really appreciate it.
We do. And if you want to join us or join them on the Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/the GigEcon podcast. You get an extra podcast a month, which usually means Jesper and I bullshitting for 15 minutes about, it's usually gig work, but we kind of go on tangents, not safe for the regular internet. And it's private just to you at the $10 tier. You also get a t-shirt on your third month. Frank, I got one coming. I just talked to the lady tonight, and she's pressing them tonight. So you'll get your T-shirt. And then what else? Oh, you get ad-free versions of the show.
Ad-free. I was going to say that. Ad-free
no ads.
Of the show. Yep.
So that's a good tier.
And I feel there's one more thing they got.
D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Nope. They probably get something else too. Oh, we get the $5 tier gets the pre-ramble.
Right.
But so the $10 tier gets everything.
So, yes. Now, if you ever want to be on our B-side show, you don't have to be a patron for that, but definitely reach out to us at team@gigeconomyshow.com.
Yeah, Nate the Seaman. I keep sending you messages. I sent you an email, and then I send you a message on Patreon, and I haven't heard from you. I hope you didn't fall into the sea. The Telegram group, we'd love for you to join that. We lost a patron. We lost somebody in the Telegram group today. Hopefully he'll be back. But, people sometimes got to go do their own thing.
Yep.
But that's basically a water cooler spot where you can just talk shit. We have fun in there. Just all kinds of stuff.
Just all kinds of stuff.
People all around the country, and I can say the world because we have Janet in there.
We do have Janet.
Who's been laying low for a while. But Janet, if you're watching right here.
We miss you.
I got your thing that you got us. I don't know the meaning behind it, but it's hard to see in the small camera. Maybe I'll post a picture of it online in our social media, but it's a picture of New Zealand, and it does light up. There, you can see it lights up.
So scary.
Sorry, I'll put my hand away off your penis. But thank you, Janet, for that. I appreciate it. Stories from the road. Jesper? Stories from your...
I don't have any stories from the road.
Do you have any stories from your company you can tell that are something...
No.
Customer was an asshole?
Not really. Not really. I
man.
mean, just a ton of work right now.
Ton of work. Gotcha. Yep. Well, I definitely have some stories from the road. I want to update Lyft Comfort. So Lyft Comfort, you can't choose Lyft Comfort in XL unless you're only in XL. Because Gabe and I found out that we can't just do Lyft Comfort. We have to do it all.
Okay.
But only people that are XL can do XL and Lyft Comfort and then get rid of the X's, which I think is bullshit.
See, I like it.
Well, of course you like it. But yeah, you're probably bringing up your Lyft account right now. But yeah, I tried. I went in there and was like, okay, I'm gonna just do Comfort for a while. And I didn't have that option. And I asked Gabe, and same thing. Gabe said no option to filter it. So
yep. See, all ride types are premium only.
yeah. See what you. That's just stupid that they let you do that. What if I just want to do premium? Which I don't, but I have to say Lyft has been wetting my beak the last couple weeks. So last weekend I did a Lyft bonus. It was 40 rides for 140, which I think, it's better than Uber's. And then as they were wetting my beak on the weekend, they give me another one for this week, 15 rides for $97. So I went out and did it all day on Monday. I did half the rides in the morning between my bus shift, and as soon as I got done with busing, I went out and did the rest. 5 hours.
Was that guaranteed or was
Nope. Bonus.
Oh.
I'm not doing a guarantee.
Yeah, so what is the difference between guarantee for the people who don't know?
I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, I do know. So a guarantee, this is a tip. Guarantee means they guarantee, which sounds stupid, you would think, but people screw this up all the time. They guarantee that in this many rides, you'll make $100.
Right.
If you don't, they pay the difference. So if you make 95, they give you $5.
Woo!
I know. That's not what this is. I don't recommend doing the guarantees. Once in a blue moon, I look at the numbers. I'm like, that's not bad. I've done a few Lyft guarantees.
Right.
But nope, this is a straight up bonus, $97.
I got a couple of guarantees for... There was one that was 35 rides for $400, I think it was, something like that.
That was a guarantee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
No, I think it was 45 rides for $400, but still.
But still, they paid you.
Oh, yeah.
Like probably what, $150 or something?
Well,
you didn't do it.
I didn't take
Sorry.
it, but yeah. No, but that's still $10 a ride, so that's fine. I was just looking at my my Uber. And if I do, 60 rides, I get $130 bonus. Like, what? This is such bull.
Yeah, I haven't looked. Well, obviously, they probably... sometimes they release them on... You're talking about this weekend you got yours already?
Yeah.
I got to bring my work phone down. We always talk about this, and I never remember, but
Yep.
I'm not driving this weekend. I'm doing Comic-Con.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Yes, and my guest is... His name is... Stand by. Tyler Main. He's a Canadian professional wrestler that wrestled in the WWE and is an actor as well. This gentleman is 6'9", Jesper.
How's he going to fit in your Bolt?
Well, I don't have to drive him around. Can you imagine the comedic picture if I get a picture taken with him, how tall he'll be? And I'm 5'7", so that's a foot and some inches taller, which he's going to look like a monster. And he did play a monster in some of the movies.
Well, there you go.
But so yeah, that's this weekend. So I'm not doing any gig work.
Right.
And then my other story from the road. This is so annoying, and maybe you guys can relate. I get an airport ride, and I roll up, and I'm sure this happens a time or two. And she walks down. She has 2 suitcases, and then her mom and dad are coming, and they have a suitcase each, and she has a stroller with a baby. She pulls up to my Bolt and says, "Yeah, I'm here to take a ride." I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to fit." I mean, I can probably fit 2 suitcases in big not even big ones. Medium-sized suitcases in the back. Right. And then she has a child seat and a stroller.
No.
And I was like, "Yeah, you're going to, you have to order XL." And I was a little annoyed, but I wasn't yet super annoyed. And she's like, "Well, what if you just take my mom and dad?" And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Remember, two pieces of luggage and them. That's it." They're like, "Well, they're just going to put suitcases on their lap too." I'm like, "You know what? Have a good day. I'm going to cancel the ride." And I just got in my car and drove off. It's just like, I don't know if they were being cheap
Right.
I mean, how much more could and it wasn't like a long trip or anything. It was right to like downtown.
So that's downtown ride in XL is like $25.
That they pay?
No, that's what I get.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Between $20 and $25 on an XL.
Right now, an X is about $12 to $13. You're saying you get $10 more for an XL?
Between $20 and $25 based on when I get for an XL from the airport
Really?
downtown. Yeah.
I didn't think it was that much, but huh.
We just got to take the long way around.
It doesn't matter anymore with upfront pricing.
I know, I'm kidding.
Unless you drive to Mumbai and back, that's not going to change the price much. I don't even know where Mumbai is. Probably Africa. But so yeah, that was just annoying. I know it seems petty, but it's just like
try India.
Is it India? I'm just like.
But no, she should have. I mean, she should have definitely ordered an XL.
So I guess if somebody rolled up in a non-XL Jeep, maybe they could fit it in. But my car, I mean, all my room is in the back seats. That's where all the room is.
Yeah, but I mean. So if you have 4 passengers,
3 passengers,
but let me
4 suitcases, a car seat, and a stroller.
Right. That's my point is, if you have 4 passengers and nothing else, then maybe you can order an X. Okay?
Oh, yeah, I would have took them.
Yeah. But you're at the airport, you have tons of luggage.
Yeah.
You have an extra, no, you have to have an XL. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it would be doable to fit them all in with the baby, but it would be someone would have to sit in the front. But I mean, where the bag's going to go? They're like, we'll put them on my lap. No, absolutely not. I'm not having loose luggage that's probably greasy.
Just leave your luggage right here, and I'll take you.
Yeah. So that was a little annoying, but other than that, I had. It was okay. Lyft, it's just barely any tips during the weekend. It just was.
Well, I mean, you were saying that you weren't super excited about. I mean, like you made quite a lot less than Uber.
I did. Well, I missed the EV, the $1.
Yep. How many rides total did you do?
I did 40.
You did 40, so that right there is $40 in EV bonus.
And it felt like it took me longer because there's no like eats for Lyft. Where the last time I did an Uber Quest, I will bet 10 of my 60 were eats. And as much as I know you don't like it, I don't mind it because it breaks it up a little bit.
Oh, sure.
You know, you get out of the car, you stretch your legs, you don't have to deal with people. It's kind of nice, but yeah, it was like pulling teeth to get those rides.
Yeah, see, that's not fun. Pulling teeth is annoying.
Yeah, so where does that saying come from? Pulling teeth.
I don't know.
I say that all the time as a reference, like something that's a pain in the ass. Maybe because it's painful to pull teeth, so that's the reference.
So, yeah.
I mean, yeah. My buddy was telling he lived in or he knew some buddies from the South, and they were like farmers, and they would just pull their teeth out when they had like tooth pain or whatever, and it was rotted away. They didn't go to the dentist; they just took it at pliers out. And I was like throwing up.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
John says Quest promos are rideshare only here in my market. I don't know what that means.
He means that when you get a quote, you can't do Uber Eats. You have to do rideshare only.
So I got you.
What you're saying, you can do Eats and delivery.
Though, last week, and Chris Postumus brought this up, my little, every hour they give you $2.50, that only said rides.
Okay.
But my Quest said rides. Actually, it didn't say rides and eat. It just said trips completed. So maybe
so that's both.
I think that's both, too.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But either way.
Gig economy in the news. So this is interesting. Well, not interesting. This is where everyone was freaking out about. I got to mute these sites because I don't ever know what's going to play. Cruise is to pull all of its driverless vehicles off the streets nationwide.
Right.
It is a autonomous service, basically. Self-driving cars with no behind the wheel will no longer be inhibiting the streets of San Fran. They announced Thursday pulling all of its cars off. The cars have been center of controversy in the city over the past years. They have been involved in crashes and been driven into areas such as construction zones. We talked about it one time where those people were putting cones on the car to get them to stop moving, which is kind of hilarious. Their comment was, the most important thing for us right now is to take steps to rebuild the public trust.
Right.
Whatever that means.
And then at about the same time, Waymo was announcing their new Waymo vehicle, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I guess I don't understand, their most high-profile incident happened actually in October when a pedestrian was struck by a regular car and then fell into a path of a cruise car. The cruise car ran over the pedestrian before trying to perform a pull-up maneuver while the pedestrian remained underneath the vehicle. They're still safer, though. I mean, I think people are scared of them, so they're pulling them off the road. But
they're blaming the technology for the damage.
But they still, how many miles do they travel without incident?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I mean
tons
of miles. Yeah. I mean, I do too, right? Every day I travel. You travel. Well, you don't travel as much, but
right.
But even when you're driving for Uber, I mean, how many miles have you traveled without incident? I guess. It's just weird. I think they're just in the public light, and it just looks bad.
Well, and I think what most people forget is that it's quite often the human factor that creates the problem.
Yes.
Like this guy.
Well, yeah, he didn't. The regular car hit the pedestrian.
Right.
Threw the guy in the front of the thing, and it's like.
Well, and the car should have stopped faster, right? I guess. And so that's
what I don't yeah, you're right. What I don't understand, I get human reaction time.
Right.
A human car probably wouldn't be able to stop quick enough. But this is a fucking computer. It should be milliseconds.
Unless that he fell in a dead zone for sensors. I mean, that's the thing.
There shouldn't be any dead zones for sensors on that car.
I know there's lots of things that shouldn't be, but they're still not 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, right? So we don't know exactly what happened.
No.
And we don't, I see all the time situations where programmers didn't think to code for all the situations.
Interesting.
Right? And so it could easily be that there was such a thing as they thought about the 990,000 other situations where they happened, and this happened to be one that they just hadn't coded for.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. We don't know what happened. Or maybe it had that particular vehicle had a faulty sensor or whatever the hell it is.
See, that's the scary part too, is all the electronics in there.
Oh, sure.
I mean, even with me getting my new car, I mean, there's so much that can go wrong in there. I mean, even as much as it sounds silly and a lot of newer cars have them, but even the blind spot monitoring, you know what I mean? I've been getting very comfortable using that little light, but where I don't even look.
Well, you should. You need to.
I know. Right. I know. But my point is like all this electronic can go bad, and
well, you learn to trust it, right?
Yeah.
You learn to trust it. I mean, I even many moons ago when I was
back in my day.
Now in Denmark, they used to say that even though it had mirrors on both sides, when you drove, you had to drive like you had no mirror on the left side.
The left side. The driver's side? Oh, you guys drove on the other side of the street.
No. So no, yeah, on
the right side is the passenger.
Oh, sorry, the right side.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I was pointing the right side. You should drive.
Oh yeah, you were.
You should drive like you had no mirror on the right side and only have the left side mirror, because that forces you to turn the head correctly.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's just.
I mean, do you think if there was a human in there, they would have stopped the car before they hit that person?
No.
You think the same result would happen?
Yeah, because I don't think the human would have had a faster reaction.
Yeah. Well, if the car doesn't have a fast enough reaction, then what are we even doing on the road? But that's probably why they pulled it off.
I don't know. I have, with my Kia, it has that auto brake system.
Yep, my car does too.
And I'm telling you, it brakes much faster than me if it happens.
Well, here's my problem. I turned mine off when I have passengers in the car, and it sounds counterintuitive, right? It's so fucking sensitive. Mm-hmm. So if a car is turning right, like I know it's turning, and I start accelerating, it goes off. Yep. And then my passenger are like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Even though I know this car is turning, like I see this. Why can't the computer calculate fast enough that it's turning and it's okay.
Well, I don't know. Right now it's just safety distance. So yours only makes a noise. It doesn't actually do
No,
anything.
it does. It can do both. It can do just the alert or alert.
I
and
had
brake.
one time where it like stepped on the brake and I like first forced almost. Whoa! That was a little fast.
I do turn it on when I'm by myself or like
Right.
just with my family and stuff. Because if it goes off for me, I don't care.
No.
But I mean, it's so sensitive that I'm like, passengers are gonna think I'm like driving like an asshole.
The thing that drove me the most is if you're driving normally and there's a car in front of you that's turning into a driveway.
Yeah.
Then it'll stop because it sees the turning and it thinks it's a turn and it doesn't calculate that the car will be gone when I get there.
Exactly. That's kind of what mine does.
Yeah.
It doesn't calculate it's going to turn the corner. It's got its blinker on. It's moving.
It's
Or the
fine. It'll be gone. Yeah.
They're stopped. I'm slowly coming up. They
Right.
start moving, so I accelerate, and it's like beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, it's fine. It's gone. By the time you beeped, It's already gone.
Correct.
Fucking idiots. Well, that's why I'm not worried about all these autonomous vehicles. Everyone's like, oh, we're going to lose our jobs. No, we're not. We're not going to lose our jobs. It's going to be a long time.
It'll be a while before you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. For sure. I don't know why that popped up. That was
Well,
interesting.
I didn't do it.
Oh, if you hit the space bar,
Did it again.
if you hit the space bar, it puts the last comment up.
Huh.
That's cool. Something I found out.
Didn't do it for me.
It didn't? Try it again.
Well, you have to activate it, I think. No.
Oh, there you go. I didn't do that. Okay, we're done. We're done.
We're playing around. Okay, so this story, I mean, honestly, I made the lineup and I added this story to the lineup.
And you gave it to yourself.
I must say it's kind of boring, but you can bring it up.
Well, nothing to bring up.
You didn't take a picture over. So, anyways, the idea behind the story, and I almost think it's an AI generated story actually, but it says Lyft faces potential selling pressure amid institutional investors' control. And sure, I mean, yeah, but there's absolutely nothing in the story that says that somebody is forcing them to control. It's all just speculation, and the idea is that because they have. Basically, institutional investors hold 74% of all of Lyft. So it's kind of bigger investors, and so they're gonna want their money back. This is not like what are they called? Hedge funds and that kind of stuff. You know, it's stop. Sorry.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I didn't know that 75% was owned by that. That seems like
74% is held by institutional investors. And so basically they have significant influence for the company's stock price. The recent market cap drop of $282 million has compounded a 1-year shareholder loss of 37%, which could potentially trigger selling pressure from these institutions, adversely affecting individual investors. So the idea is, of course, and again, it's all speculation, that they think because of the high loss, there's a big chance that Lyft is going to be forced to sell. But it's just all, as I said, it's just all thinking and whatever.
Well, they always speculate, but
Correct.
It's funny you brought up the AI because I read it too, and I was like, first of all, some of these words I don't even know what they are. I mean, I'm not bright. I mean, high school education, like, yeah, but still, I'm reading it. I'm like, I don't know exactly what they're even saying.
It actually says that I hadn't even seen it. It says this article was generated with the support of AI and reviewed by an editor.
Oh, really? Oh,
For more information, see our TZ.
Oh no, it was. Oh my god.
Anyways, it's on investing.com. The whole it's basically Investing Pro that is kind of speculating what's going to happen. They say here that looking at real-time data from Investing Pro, Lyft's market cap stands at $3.58 billion. Despite a negative P&E ratio of minus 2.
Why are we even talking about that? We don't even know what it means. It's despite a negative PE ratio of negative 2.63, indicating the company is not profitable. Analysts predict that the company will turn a profit
But it will be profitable because they're actually making a lot of money.
I thought it was interesting. They said, moreover, the company holds more cash and debt on its balance sheet. Now, I don't know quite what a balance sheet is, probably your day-to-day stuff.
It's your cash flow, yeah.
But that's good.
Oh,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
good news.
Yeah.
That's so funny that it was written by AI. I read the whole article, but clearly didn't read that.
So anyways, long story short, yeah, they might be forced to sell, but really not that interesting.
No, it's not. Anyways, just keep driving. Do your thing.
Just keep driving.
Just keep driving. All right, TikTok video. I don't remember what this one is because Jason didn't label it. Okay, so this is a driver falls asleep. I don't know. I watched it like 3 times. It didn't look like he fell asleep.
No.
We'll play it and berate him anyways.
But would it be all right if we went to the gas station? I gotta use the restroom.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
I mean, I think the guy just did it for clout or some sort of post or something.
Well, I mean,
he very well could have been and just didn't show that part of the video.
right, exactly.
He was on a 1 hour and 30-minute trip, so he did have his head back. I don't know about you, but I don't drive with my head against the back of the head. I mean, that's there to protect you in an accident, basically.
I was just reminded of one thing, actually, and I wanted to share this story. I don't think I actually shared it. So when we went to Mexico, we was forced to stay an extra day in Dallas, right? And we had probably and I was just reminded of this, we had probably the worst rideshare vehicle I've ever been in.
Like from the airport to
the hotel.
Okay.
Right? Absolutely the worst. So this was basically we had gotten some what are they called? Tickets that because the airport was going to pay vouchers. The tickets the airport was going to pay for our ride, right?
Yep.
From the hotel to the from the airport to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So we got these vouchers, and we get there, and this. It's probably an 1984 Dodge Caravan.
It can't be that old.
It was old. I mean, it was like the old style, right? Before the one I had, the round style before mine, right?
Really?
Yes. And it was so filthy inside. It was so filthy inside. I mean, there was even used cups that had old trash in the cup from like days before, right? And the rear wheel well was just going clunk, 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 right? It was.
How did you forget this story?
It was so bad. I don't know. Then we get to the hotel, and the hotel was right off the highway. I mean, it was like 4-lane, and it was right off driveway to the highway. From the highway. But it was one of those hotels where it was uphill to get into the driveway. He couldn't get up the hill, so he pulled into the side at the highway, right? And he puts us off at the highway. And we need to then take our suitcase up the hill ourselves up to the entrance of the hotel.
Okay, I have so many questions.
But here's the other thing is then he stands and he gets the voucher and then he's like, "What? No tip?" He said that to me. I said, "Nope, you're right. No tip."
So
your tip is up there. We joked.
Yeah, you can walk up there or you can drive your car up there. So clearly, it wasn't an actual Uber.
Well, so he had the
stickers.
No. Well, but he had. You're right. It wasn't actually, but he had the phone as well, so he had the apps.
Yeah, but how did you get the ride?
Oh, that was we went up to the airport and he called us the ride. Yes.
Yeah. See, this is not an Uber. This is a voucher for some guy to take you to the airport.
Well, sure.
And he may be an Uber driver, but if the car was that old that it can't be on the platform, why did you even go? Because it was free?
Well, yeah.
I would have paid for it.
Yeah.
I would have not even.
I think it was a principle, too, because it was the airport's fault.
Well, of course.
I mean.
That's weird that they don't have like an Uber or Lyft account that they can just say request rides.
It was so horrible, Jason.
I bet
so horrible.
I would not even got in that car. You're lucky you made it out alive.
I know.
Honestly, I was gonna say there was no way that was an official Uber because that just couldn't be a thing. He couldn't even get up the hill.
No, there's no. I know that's why he knew that there's no way the car was gonna make it up there.
Why is the airport working with somebody like that?
I don't know.
Unless it's like a contract with a different company and they sub out these drivers, but. That's insane.
It was so bad.
Oh, and I was going to ask you another question too, but I was so distraught through the story that I can't remember. But okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say. There have been times when I've taken long rides at night.
Yeah.
And it's quiet for a long time, and then the person talks, and I forget someone's in there and scares the
Yeah, I
shit out of
remember
you. And you're like,
told
oh,
him.
hi. Sorry.
Oh, you're still there.
I don't
Did I forget to drop you off?
like no, but I've been startled on a handful of times by doing that. I don't do long rides anymore. My car can't do them, and plus they don't pay.
No, and that is interesting, though. You're right. Your car cannot do it.
Well,
Right?
it can, but I mean, it eats up the whole night.
Right.
If it paid accordingly, I would do it. But
Well, and then the interesting part too for me is that because it's a EV, it does worse on the highway than city driving, which is very interesting to me, actually.
yeah, I do okay if I can drive around and not get on the highway. But I still do when I'm doing Lyft regular rides. If I'm driving from 28th Street to downtown, I'm not taking Division all the way down there. I mean, unless I don't know. It all depends. But I mean, if it's 5-6 miles, I'm not doing a city street 5-6 miles.
Is it because of the braking? Is that what's charging the battery at the same time?
Yeah, but it also is speed. Honestly, with your regular car, the faster you go over 55, it just kills the efficiency.
Then just go 55.
Well, yeah. Do you
on
want
the highway?
I've tried going 65 because my car will light up green right around, and that means you're being efficient. And then the second I hit 66, 67, 68, it gets to yellow. And then once I'm above 70, it's pretty bright yellow. So I tried doing 65. Can't do it. It's too slow.
I know.
I was trying to be so efficient with it, and I'm like, what am I doing? It cost me $8. I mean, a night to charge it up from empty.
Right.
The only reason I was trying to be babying it just so my shift could last longer.
Right.
But the last time I did 11-hour shift, I came home with 30 miles left, and I had plenty of mileage. So 11 hours, I mean, that's pretty good on one charge.
That is good.
So
that is good, definitely.
I decided not to baby it anymore and just be like, fuck it. Like,
when is the last time you did an 11-hour shift?
that last time you and I did weekends together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was a long day.
Oh my gosh, that was a long day.
That's the day I did some eats though too, because it's just nice to get out and stretch your legs a little bit. But Jesper, how can I report a driver for canceling during the ride and asking for cash? This is an interesting story.
This is a very interesting story. So it's on Reddit,
our favorite place.
And I'm gonna read it because we want people to kind of comment on it because it's actually a very interesting story here. So he says here, how can I report driver for canceling during the ride and for cash? I took a ride from the airport with my bags already in the trunk and the car was already driving. When the driver canceled the ride, let me repeat that again. With my bags already in the trunk and the car was already driving, which means we had left the airport.
Yes.
When the driver canceled the ride and asked for cash payment instead.
So like halfway.
What a douche, right? It was around midnight and we were in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I didn't feel comfortable getting out on the highway, so I agreed, but felt I had no choice. I would like to report him, but there doesn't seem to be a way to do it in the app. It seems like he's using this scam to cut Uber out of the fare. Yep. I also got changed the cancellation fee for the second car Uber sent because of the first driver canceling. I want to report him, but how? The app only allows me to report rides I've taken officially. Like I said, this driver actually drove me all the way home and took my cash after canceling when we had already pulled away. I already sent in a complaint about the cancellation charge for the second car Uber sent, which I don't understand why that happened.
Yeah, I don't understand
and
either.
Got a refund, but there was no place to even put in comments to explain the real situation. I want to prevent this scam from being pulled on others. So very interesting, actually. And I have so many questions as well. Whereas the first of it, I mean, would you have paid him? I would have texted. I would have called 911.
Well, what are you going to say? It's a civil matter. He hasn't committed any crime.
That's true.
I mean, it's all civil, and that's some of the comments. And I read some of the comments in there.
I did read that.
Some people said call the police. I'm like, what are you going to say? An Uber driver canceled the ride, and then the cops are going to be like, well,
tried to scam me. Yeah.
You tried to scam me, and they're going to be like, well, I mean, you're going to have to file. I mean, I guess scamming, depending on what it is, the police get involved. But in that moment, a road patrol officer is not going to be able to address that issue. You're going to have to go make a report. The detective has going to look into it. You know what I mean? I mean, the only thing I could say is I would get out in that moment, and then I would call the police and say my Uber driver kicked me out of the car, and I don't feel safe on the highway. And then
Right.
they would probably send a car to come pick you up or something that effect. But
He also had multiple bags, so that doesn't make it easier. either.
yeah, it doesn't.
But definitely, this driver was taking advantage of the situation, obviously, and was.
Of course.
and
I mean,
was-
once you get on the road on the highway, and then you're like, cancel the ride, like,
right.
and he is running a risk of that. What was he going to do? I would have said, okay, no, I'm not paying you cash. Now what are you going to do? I would have put the ball back. And again, we're armchair quarterbacks because it didn't happen to us.
Right.
But looking, hindsight, I would say, okay, what are you going to do now? You going to kick me out? Okay, well, you're going to have to call the police because I'm not getting out of your car.
Right.
Obviously, if it escalated to violence, I probably would get out if the guy was starting to
Well, yeah.
But I mean, I would basically put it back in his court and say, I'm not paying for it. You cancel the ride. How are we going to solve this?
Right. Well, and no, absolutely. Or just take me home. I'm not paying you a dime.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. Either take me home or call the cops to get me out because I'm not leaving.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just kind of put it back in his place. But I have to feel if you had a ride and
Right.
it was canceled, it should show up in your account, and there should be an option that said, I had a problem with this driver.
I was thinking that too.
And no one commented on the Reddit post. I noticed that it didn't really say like, did you? I don't know. I'll have to look at the comments again, but like, yeah, they're like, go to Twitter. I'm like, are you guys even right? I mean, this is obviously not a rideshare driver posting this. It's posting
Right.
it in Uber, but like, there's got to be a way to see the canceled trip. I mean, I get to see it when I cancel on somebody. I can go into the trip and say I had a problem
Right.
with this, or refund the rider. Or there's options.
But the question is, does it disappear from the riders?
It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, it possibly could, but there's a charge. Anytime there's a charge, there's got to
Right.
be a record somewhere. So
Has it ever happened to you that a passenger canceled?
yeah, I had that one a couple months ago. Remember they rolled up right when I finished the ride and they canceled?
Oh yeah.
That girl did, or her boyfriend did on the other end or something. I don't know, but yeah, I've never gone into my account and say I had a problem with this cancel. I just see that I got paid and I move on with life.
Right.
But there's got to be a way to report it. But I feel for her or him. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But yeah,
That driver needs to be deactivated like immediately.
well, yeah. Someone says LMAO wrecked, shouldn't have been weak and stood your ground. Okay, first of all, I know I said that, but we're armchair quarterbacks. Should have
Right.
called the police straight away and claimed you're being extorted and held under duress. I mean, it's got a point there.
Mm-hmm.
It got a point there.
I mean, that's why it gets borderline, right? But then the problem, now you're creating a situation that could potentially make it more difficult for you because he could do something now, right?
Yeah. And I got to say, this guy probably does it just to women because why not prey on women?
Right.
Although it says Uber driver, it doesn't say it was a he,
What
but
does it say that is the person who posted it? Does he
No,
or she say it was a woman or man?
nope. And I don't know if they are either. It says this driver.
Right.
So we don't even know, but chances are it's
I
a
don't
guy.
think I don't think it was a woman who did it.
No.
It just I mean
Guys are
I'm
just
not
fuckos.
I'm not to say that women can't act like that, but guys are just jerks.
Yeah, basically.
Idiots, dumbasses.
Wow. I
Yeah.
wouldn't go that far.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
You
This
would?
this guy's a dumbass.
Fair. All right, moving on. So this is kind of funny. I wanted to play a video from the Polk County Sheriff, which they are very big on YouTube. There's this sheriff. Did you watch the video?
Not this one, but I've seen a couple.
But they played a song behind it, and it was so loud it was distracting, so I'm going to read this. 27-year-old Elijah Mills from Maitland is an Uber driver, but we wouldn't recommend him to anyone. On the night of October 24th, around 9:37 p.m., Elijah was Ubering a couple from the UK. The couple, Mark and Rihanna, were in Polk County to attend a wedding next week, theirs. As they were traveling on US 27 in the Four Corners area of Davenport, a PCSO deputy got behind them and then came a few more deputies, and the deputies boxed in Elijah's Chevy Equinox and forced it to stop. Why? Because it wasn't really Elijah's Chevy Equinox. Elijah rented the vehicle from a company in Orange County and then decided to stop making payments on the vehicle, so the rental company reported it as stolen. Elijah even told our deputies that the rental company would call him every day, but he refused to answer because he knew he would ask them about the payments. Then Elijah told our deputies something really wild. He said that the rental company equips their vehicles with a device that keeps the vehicle from restarting in case people stop making their payments. So Elijah had kept the Chevy Equinox running for 3 straight weeks. Oh, man.
You're not supposed to keep it running when you put gas in it.
Well, what about sleeping?
Well, yeah, but that's
so when he slept for 8 hours, he just left the car on idling.
Could have been cheap from gas.
Well, I mean, geez. What a fucking dumbass. Here's the thing, though. Like, they have a system that can't let the car restart, but where's the GPS to track the fucker? I mean, he had to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he was, like, moving it. But even still, it's just hilarious. He ran the thing for 3 weeks straight.
Well, and the thing is, you would think that if they have a system to allow it to not start, why couldn't that same
Just shut
system,
it off?
Yeah, kill the engine.
Well, OnStar can.
I know, that's yeah.
When my car came with OnStar free for a month, and it's so fucking expensive. Like, I didn't do anything with it, but they do have, if you have their service, they'll just shut the car down. It just meow. Which is nice to have, but we don't have a ton of auto theft in our area. But
No.
They wanted some like crazy amount of money, even for the 4G, or the LTE or whatever in the car. It was like $30 a month for like 2 gigabytes of data.
No, that's okay.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need that. But I thought that was really funny.
That's so crazy.
That he did that. I think that's hilarious. RMI Inspections, they are back for another round of advertising. We can't thank them enough for supporting us. But RMI Inspections, I say on-demand inspections for Uber and Lyft. It is kind of on-demand, but what it is online inspections. You connect them with a video platform of your choice, either probably WhatsApp or I don't know what Android uses, Google Work or whatever the fuck it is.
Google Meet.
No one uses it. And or iPhone. And you schedule that. They do the inspection. It's probably 20 minutes or so. It's only $19. Click on the link in the description to sign up for that. And if you don't pass, you don't pay. Once you pass, they send you all the forms filled out, ready to go for your inspection. I know our good super fan Larry last week Wednesday used it, said it was quick, easy, and painless, as he now has a 2016 Toyota Camry. The same one that he had before. I think he had a 2010, and that one went bye-bye.
Yeah, I know. So he already got a new one?
Yeah, he actually bought I think his parents had the Camry.
Okay.
He bought it from them because his mom's not driving anymore. So he's back working, and he used RMI Inspections for that.
There you go.
Very
Good job.
Cool. Check it out. The link is in the description. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. This one is interesting as well, and definitely something that is absolutely nuts, and never do this.
This happened early Saturday morning. Police say that woman got into the wrong car and was raped. Now a suspect is held on $10,000 bail as we learn disturbing details about this case. This is the wanted bulletin shared by law enforcement intelligence this weekend as Boston police were searching for Kabel Najib of Worcester. It's now part of the criminal rape case against him in Boston Municipal Court after he was arrested Sunday night. According to the police report, a woman thought she was getting into an Uber after leaving a downtown nightclub early Saturday morning, but it was actually Najib behind the wheel. The report states the car took a route driving by the Boston Common, continuing along Charles Street, and the woman told police he stopped by some brownstone buildings just before Storrow Drive. She says he put a T-shirt over the window blocking the view and then raped her. Then she says he drove her home. Detectives say they obtained video of the alleged victim getting into a car like Najib's near the nightclub and have other video of the car driving downtown. Now, Najib has a car registered in his name here in Massachusetts, also a driver's license from Texas. His attorney did not respond to our request for a comment. Live in the newsroom, Karen Anderson, 5 Investigates. Karen.
We both went. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's so disturbing.
I know.
That people still continue, predators still continue to to hide under that platform, and it's so easy. And everybody, be careful. I mean, check that license plate and make sure you are getting into the car that you know you're supposed to get into.
It's so disturbing that someone has that mentality just as a human. Like, I'm going to go rape somebody. Like, I don't get that.
Oh, no.
I would really like, this is kind of off topic, to watch, there's documentaries about killers and stuff. I want to see a documentary and get in the mind of like a serial rapist. Like, most of the time it's not about sex, it's about power and control. But like, how do you just drive around like, okay, I'm driving around and I'm like, I'm going to pick somebody up tonight as a driver and I'm going to rape them. Like, I just don't I don't know. They're fucked in the head.
Absolutely.
Like,
it's, yeah.
I mean, I
don't know.
This is going to sound weird too, but like when I see someone like shoot someplace up, there's usually anger behind that.
Oh, sure.
I can understand anger. I get it. I've been angry and I've punched walls. Like, I've been angry.
Right.
I get that. I understand that. I would never do that. Obviously, I'm not condoning it or anything, but I just don't get the rape.
But do you think it's in a way them getting back on women?
Could be. They may have been hurt by a bunch of women.
But that doesn't excuse it by any means. No.
I mean, if it's sex, I mean, my gosh, I have a hand. Like, I don't need... like, it's just weird. I don't know. Probably get demonetized for that comment too. But
no, it's just no.
But what Jesper says, he does bring a good point. I have a daughter who is 16 next month. And not that she's going to be using Ubers, but it just, I see some of these girls coming out and they don't check the plates. They just hop in, and I'm not there to lecture them.
No.
Every once in a while, if I feel somebody that I feel like these girls, you can kind of tell a girl that's got her shit together and one that might be a little vulnerable. And I'm not being sexist by any means. I have a daughter. I have a dad sense. I see a lot of people. I have a good sense of that. I always say, okay, guys, be careful. I'll say that. Not all the time.
Do you think we should ask our passengers to check the plate?
No.
I mean, no, but in the sense of teaching them how to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, you really should, did you check my license plate?
Yeah, we should be doing that.
I mean, just to instill the good habits, right? I mean,
that's a good point. We should probably. And just make it like a lighthearted thing. Like,
absolutely.
Hey, just a reminder, you really should check the plates to make sure you're getting in a car that's safe.
So you're fucking not getting in a car and you should check the plate. Now go.
Yeah. No. That would be what I would do. Now get the fuck out. You touched my radio. You didn't check my plate. You're done. That's 2 strikes. That's my rule. You're out. No, you know what? You bring up a really good point. I might start doing that because, these girls just pile in. Right. I mean, I get it if it's picking him up at the house. I wouldn't do it there. But remember, I don't do
getting home, yeah.
You'll have more opportunity in that because I don't do the late anymore. I don't take too many people home. I mostly take people down. But I think that's actually a really good idea. At first, I was like, nah. But you know what? I think we should do that. We should start a campaign.
I know. Check the plate.
Check the plate.
Hashtag
check the plate. I love it. All right. Okay. So, this is funny. So this is a DoorDash driver, or this is a customer. He gets food dropped off. We'll watch it, but then I need to read the comments because it's kind of funny.
So I just walked out my front door and I see this here. And I didn't even order anything. What is this, Wingstop? And I know it's fresh because it still has ice in there. But put that there. Oh, kind of heavy. Okay, so I do see someone standing outside of their door. But I don't know if they're waiting on food or they're just standing out there. And I don't want to go ask. God damn. I'm fucking full. But I gave it 5 minutes. No one came. My fucking neighbor's still standing out there. He's probably waiting for a ride, though, from his friends, because I know he doesn't have a car. But I had to eat this shit. I wasn't going to let it go to waste. That shit was low-key.
Okay. So the number one comment says, I just saw a girl crying 2 video above about someone who stole her Wingstop. Second comment, I hope your neighbor not a girl because 2 videos before this, there was a girl crying because someone took her Wingstop. Third comment, I just seen a girl post someone stole her Wingstop and it was her last $20. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
But the wings was in front of his door.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, he if it is true, he should have gone out to that neighbor and said,
Right.
"Hey, did you order any food?"
Right.
I mean,
be the good neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Start there.
but I mean, what would you do?
I would be the good neighbor.
No, what if there was nobody hanging outside?
What do you mean?
Like, he took the food in, but he was like, "Oh, my neighbor's out there. I wonder if it's them." Oh, I don't think it's them. Let's say you look out. There's no one around. The food's there. You take it in and
if
eat
I
it?
saw food there and I had neighbors around me, I would knock on the door and say, "Is this your food?"
How many doors would you knock on? Just the ones next to you? The one in each
I
side?
would say probably 2 of each. on
You're a
each side.
fucking liar.
I don't know.
You're not doing that many. You probably don't even know all
It's
your
like,
neighbors.
I
on the
want
calls.
this food. Oh, nobody home.
Yeah, yeah. Tink, tink, tink. Yeah. Everyone has doorbell cams, so you'd be busted. I don't know. I think it's funny. I think I would take the food. As long as it was sealed, I would be a
Right.
little sus if it was like not sealed or anything, but those wings look good though. They were hot too. Did you hear him go? Like his nose was running.
And she goes, "Fuck, I'm full."
Yeah, he's full. Yeah, it was so funny.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's true
the
or
number
not.
one reason why I don't ever order food.
Well, the problem is too, like, I never know if these videos are fake or not. Like, to me, it felt a little fake, but I feel like we just got to take them for what they are.
Oh yeah,
We always analyze if it's fake or not. I mean, if it's ridiculously fake, I'm probably not going to share it on the show.
I think this seemed very, very doable.
For sure.
believable.
I mean, it happens all, like, look at that one high or rich area in California we talked about that they were regularly getting
Right.
food deliveries randomly, which is hilarious. And they were all concerned about it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not concerned. I'll be eating that shit every night. Do you think I want to cook for my kids when my wife is working? Like, if the food showed up and like, look at kids, we got McDonald's. You don't like what it is? Just fucking eat it. Like, it's free.
What is it, son? It's free food.
It's free food. Just fucking eat it. So, I didn't actually tease this in the title, but this is probably the biggest story, or I guess per se, that we need to talk about. Which,
Definitely.
There we go.
Very interesting, and obviously it's a DoorDash thing.
Yep.
Orders with no tip might take longer to get delivered. Are you sure you want to continue? And this is a notice that's coming up on people who order DoorDash food to kind of let them know that if you don't tip, this might be what happens. Dashers can pick and choose which orders they want to do. Orders that take longer to be accepted by Dashers tend to result in a slower delivery. So that's interesting. I think it's good that they are bringing it up to people ordering it.
Yeah, I do too. There was a little bit of backlash on it where people said, well, this is just DoorDash trying to supplement paying their drivers, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. But it's not any different than it was 3 months ago. So at least they're putting this up there. Nothing has changed other than them reminding them that they might get cold food. But I don't know how people don't know that they're going to get cold food. Although they've been pushing that Top Dasher program. I can't even get on the platform anymore.
Right.
So maybe people are getting less cold food because people are taking all the bullshit rides.
Maybe. So there's a story later, which I know we're not going to get to now, but
No.
but the claim the writer has in the story, and I don't actually know if it's true, but you can tell me if it is, probably is, that DoorDash is knowingly, or they're not claiming that they will, but it's kind of known that DoorDash does this. Let's say there's an order with $10 in tip, DoorDash will say to the Dasher that there is an estimated $4 to $6 tip on it, and then they'll pack it together, group it with a no dollar tip to get both orders to come out.
Yeah, I've been fucked a couple of times on that.
I mean, and that's just bullshit.
You roll the dice and you're like, oh,
Right.
this looks like a good order. And then you realize there's a literal no tip
Now, you're still
order.
going to get the $10 on the bigger one.
Right, but you're doing more work. You're
Right.
still delivering that. And
And
what's frustrating is it used to be, and maybe it wasn't DoorDash or Uber Eats, you were able to decide which one you wanted to deliver. but you can't do that anymore. The app forces you to deliver whatever one they want you to deliver first. But
that's bullshit.
I know, because if you know the one isn't tipping, why would you get your food where the other one's tipping $10? Like, and that's where the company would step in and say, well, there's priority. I don't know if DoorDash has it, but Uber, you can get priority, meaning you get your order first. It's one-on-one. It's this driver doesn't have a bunch of orders. So it's also nickel and diming the customer again too. But I remember when I would do multi-app and I would get a Grubhub or an Uber, whoever had the better tip, guess who was getting their food first?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's common sense.
Absolutely.
One of the comments too was like, this shouldn't say tip. This should say orders are bid, or the tip is a bid for service. Like we've talked about all the time. I don't think they'll ever change that verbiage, but it truly is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be amazing if a company said, this is a bid for service. These are independent contractors. You are bidding to get them. But I think if they did that, they would be in a heap of trouble, because I think customers would be like, wait a minute. Like, what if it's shitty service? Why am I bidding to get an order? Why aren't you paying your drivers enough living wage so they will at least get it to me? And if they have good service, I'll tip them. So,
well, and then, if it's a bid for service, they can take, they can take a percentage out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a tip.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish that would be amazing. I mean, I don't know. I agree that one guy that we had come on who was, what's his name?
He was a little intense.
What?
He was a little intense.
He was a little intense. He has a point, though.
Oh, sure.
And people do have a point. It is the road to the end. They're going to, I mean, if they're not careful, they're going to ride this to the ground. And eventually, like in an economic collapse, do you really think DoorDash is going to survive?
No.
I don't think so either.
No, it's going to be one of the first services to go.
I mean, unless our government funds the economy again with a bunch of stimulus checks.
No.
You do that, it's going to survive because people are going to blow their money on that. But right. I mean, I don't know. It's just they keep grinding and grinding and grinding. What are they going to do? Like, eventually it's going to go away. I don't know.
Absolutely. No, it will.
But a bid for service, I think, is good verbiage.
Absolutely.
John says it's Highland Park. It's actually low income. No, it's not. We read the article. We played a video. It said it was high end. Really?
It's in Los Angeles.
Well, I know it's all Los Angeles. I'll have to look the article up, but maybe John's right. All right, we'll do this.
Probably is.
He usually is.
That'll never happen.
I don't even know what he said. I don't know what he was replying to. So, okay, last one. Jesper conveniently gave me this one. He does the rundowns now, so he gives up me all the sex ones. A Metro Phoenix woman is suing DoorDash and a delivery driver, alleging that her Mexican food came with a sauce she didn't order. I always love these stupid things. The food delivery gone woefully wrong took place on January 17, 2022. The woman placed an order with, I cannot pronounce that, Filiberatos in Metro Phoenix using DoorDash. The company assigned the delivery Jeffrey Reed Jacobs, who snagged the bag of food in the restaurant's drive-thru, according to the lawsuit. Jacobs then allegedly pleasured himself and finished on the food. Okay, I was like, all right, and then there's ads. So someone saw him do this, I guess, which is weird. And this kind of grosses me out. He parked in the parking lot of the restaurant, where then he proceeded to masturbate and ejaculate on plaintiff's food order, according to the lawsuit. The restaurant employee witnessed Jacobs' allegedly happy ending and tried to stop the DoorDasher's term for its food runners and return the contaminated food to the restaurant. Jacobs allegedly refused, drove away, and delivered the food to the woman. After Jacobs left the parking lot, the restaurant contacted DoorDash and requested that the company alert the woman who ordered the food. DoorDash did that just 40 minutes later, according to the lawsuit. By that time, the driver had already delivered the contaminated food to the plaintiff, and she had ingested it. Blah, blah. DoorDash is sickened of it. Yeah, it's gross. The word ejaculate got me. It's like...
Oh, it's so gross.
I mean, masturbating is like a general term, but when ejaculate, it's just like... Okay, we get it. The woman seeking damages for pain, mental, and emotional suffering, lost wages, and medical expenses. You're not going to get any of that. You didn't have any of those issues, but it's actually
she could have gotten what do they call it?
STD.
STD, yeah.
Yeah, I guess she could have. They don't call it STDs anymore. STIs.
STIs, yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess she could have. So, I mean, honestly, it would be the emotional.
Oh,
I mean, can you
absolutely.
imagine
No.
doing that and then being like, I mean, first of all, I would never go to that restaurant again. I mean, it would be tough to eat even Mexican food for a while.
Eat any food not made at home?
Yeah. Have you ever been food poisoned?
You know, probably,
Okay.
but not to the point where I actually can really identify it.
Megan and I have I'm not going to name the restaurant, but
Right.
it was a wing restaurant, and we were violently ill. Megan worse than me. I mean, both ends,
Ugh.
a bucket in our hand, sitting on the toilet. I mean, it was just violently ill. Called the restaurant. They're like, yeah, we'll look into it. Never heard anything, of course. I went back to that restaurant 30 days later. It took Megan about almost a year to go back, and she was back on the wagon. So, I mean, I get it. That is it, especially like tasting it.
Right.
Like, I'm sure that was
Rough.
rough. And I don't know how much like medical bills you're going to have, but at least some some
Right.
therapy.
Absolutely.
I would need some therapy if that happened to me. So, anyways, on
No way.
On that amazing note, oh yeah, Jeff Thomas Black. Why? And he uses his middle name, Jeff Thomas Black. Can we just say Jeff Black? Do we have to say Jeff Thomas Black?
Maybe say he's confused by Jack Black.
But his name is Jeff.
No, I know. But
Is it
still,
confused with jack off, like the masturbating article that we just talked about?
I don't
Jesper and I are both tired. I'm
I
looking in
am-
his eyes, and I had
I
whiskey, and
am.
I'm like, I'm hot.
I'm
sweaty.
tired. We gotta go.
We gotta go. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
listening.
you so much. Sorry for the low energy.
No, it wasn't low energy. Just
for
towards
me-
the end.
for me,
Just
a
towards the
little
end.
bit.
Yeah, so no Patreon tonight. We'll probably do it next week or the week after. Who
Yep.
knows? Hey, Steve, thanks for chiming in. And we're signing off, though. I appreciate you checking in. But yeah, if you are interested in being on the B-side, I would love to interview. Has McCallion been on the B-side?
I don't know.
I mean, he's been on the show a bunch of times, but... Or Steve, hook me up with somebody. God damn it. You're my guy that knows everybody. Hook me up with a gig worker that wants to come on the show.
Yep.
Or a creator. I don't give a shit.
Somebody who wants to talk.
Someone who wants to talk to us and rub our legs. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
Good night.
Good night.
That's what she said. I don't give a shit.
The Gig Economy News.
I never used that. I was supposed to use that at the beginning.
The Gig Economy News.
I will send you to Jesus.
Good night. This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.